Talking with Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com and SBR contributor John Ryan from JohnRyanSports.com, previewing NFL Week 7 here on the SBR TV NFL Experts Roundtable. The next game we're going to talk about is, John, a game you picked. Now, I'm surprised you picked this game because this is one of those lines. It's Green Bay at Minnesota. Green Bay is a 9-point road favorite, so that always makes you a little bit nervous in the NFL. But Green Bay is one of those teams, they've been killing the books just on games like this. They're 6-0, also 5-1 against the spread. Public's been backing them. The public's been winning with them. I look at this game. Christian Ponder is going to be starting for Minnesota, so that's a big, that's another sort of factor that where you don't exactly know how that's going to turn out. He's also going to be playing behind an offensive line that's a bit banged up, so who knows how that's going to turn out. Why do you like this game?
I like this game because it's my play is on the Vikings. Mm-hmm. Christian Ponder is not your everyday quarterback. He has an immense amount of talent. He's a very, very good, accurate passer in the short ball control routes. And they're going to need to do that against Green Bay because we know that Green Bay is going to try to send every exotic blitz in their book at Ponder because he's new. And I think that could fail miserably, actually, because Ponder is so good at getting the ball out of there quick. He can go into this game with a complete relaxed tone to it, knowing that, hey, we're supposed to lose. So if they lose, everybody will say, well, they were supposed to lose Ponder's first game. And I think this makes them a very dangerous team. And you also have to remember that Minnesota has a tremendous defense in their own right. So I think Minnesota's a dangerous team here.
Thankfully, we have a guy who's proven himself to be a Green Bay Packers expert over the years in our calls with us. Scott Kellen, what do you like in this game? You think it's a good week to fade Green Bay?
I'm leaning that way, yeah. I'm just trying to get my hands around, what I think about Christian Ponder, but I think the value definitely lies towards Minnesota. I've got a lot of fundamental rushing situations that apply to Minnesota. The one thing with Ponder, when Mike Holmgren was in Green Bay, he said the first thing that he looked for in a quarterback, and he's been pretty good in judging quarterbacks, was their footwork. And the one thing I did notice with Ponder the other night is he seemed to have pretty good footwork, good pocket presence, knew when to get out of there, was able to get out of there and avoid the sack. I look at this and say, well, how many points is Green Bay going to score in this game? They obviously have a high offensive weapon, and they can score a lot of points. But when I look on the road this year, they did score 30 at Carolina, but that's against a horrible defense. They scored 27 at Chicago, and they scored 25 at Atlanta. And the Vikings defense is a very good defense. They're giving up 5.4 yards of play to a bunch of teams averaging 5.5. So they're slightly above average defensively. I haven't checked and saw the status on Antoine Winfield yet this week. I think that would be important for them if he can play to help them. But the likelihood of Green Bay scoring 30 points in this game probably doesn't happen unless there's a bunch of turnovers. And on the other side, when I look at Minnesota, they are actually scoring points this year, especially at home. The other thing with Green Bay, and it's going to catch up with them sooner or later, they're giving up 7.1 yards a pass. They're giving up 6.1 yards a play. So even an offense like Minnesota, even with Ponder, who has not been great on offense, but they have run the ball pretty well, probably can maneuver and make some plays against this Green Bay defense. And if they can hold them under 30 points, they are getting enough points in this game they possibly can cover this line. So I would definitely lean towards Minnesota, and I end up playing them as well.